Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm back. Now it's been a while since I've done a video like this, just like talking and stuff. I have still been uploading. I've done five-side football, I've done highlight videos, I've done vlogs at Tottenham, but it has been a long time since I've done a video just face to face with the camera actually speaking. I think in fact it's been about 8 months. Today I'm back, and today we're going to be predicting the Premier League season for 2019 to 2020. Now obviously this is a pretty common thing. And I have left it a little bit late because the season actually starts today. I'm filming this on Friday, I don't know when it'll be out. But I deliberately waited this long because I wanted the transfer window to close as it did last night. So yeah, before I start, one thing I will say is that this is an opinion video obviously. Everyone always says it, everyone is always going to disagree with something that you say. So like, obviously I want to hear what you guys think, so like let me know in the comments. But try not to slaughter me too much because I've done videos like this before for the Euros and the World Cup. I've been absolutely slaughtered in the comments, so go easy on me. But yeah, enough like waffle, we're going to get straight into it and we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. Now starting off in 20th, I've gone with newly promoted Sheffield United. Now in my opinion, newly promoted sides always have to get in a bit of Premier League experience just to like keep, because like their main objective is going to be to stay up, and they need more experience rather than quality to keep them up, and they have got a bit of experience in bringing in Jagielka. He's definitely going to sort the back line out, keep them solid. He's not going to be the best player that they have, but they're Premier League experience. But apart from that, they haven't really brought in anyone I'd count as significant as a sign. Brought in Ravel Morrison, who's a very good player, but he has got attitude problems, and you really want that if you're going to be in a relegation battle. They also got in Betic on loan from Everton, which I think is a good deal, but it's going to be a short-term one. I don't really think his head's going to be in a relegation battle, because if you're on loan, like, you're not really that passionate about the club, I don't say. Dean Henderson in goal is a very good signing. He's a quality goalkeeper from Man United. Obviously that's only going to be a loan because I doubt United will want to let him go permanently, but he will do them very well. I think in the relegation battle you need a solid keeper, and they've got that. Yeah, apart from that, they've had an alright transfer window, but I don't think they've done enough to stay up. I think their team's lacking a lot of quality, a lot of goals, and you need goals if you're going to be in a relegation battle, because it could be 1 or 2 goals that saves you or gets you the 3 points against a relegation battle in the team. Like, I just don't think Sheffield United have got it in them to stay up. I think their team compared to others is very weak. I think they had an alright transfer window, bringing in some experience and a little bit of quality maybe with Morrison, but I don't think they've done enough to stay up, so therefore I've put Sheffield United in 20th. Now working our way up into 19th, also our tip to get relegated is Brighton. Right, so Brighton did alright in not letting too many people go. They did let Knockaert go, which was a bit of a weird one for me because I think he was quite decent for them. And they brought in a few players, a few quality players as well, like Morpay, who I think is very good from Brentford. Also brought in Aaron Moy on loan. So I think they've done alright in the transfer window, but here's the big but. Like I said with Sheffield United, they need Premier League quality and experience if they want to stay up in a relegation battle, and I don't think they've got that. I think Morpay is a brilliant striker, but this is the first time in the Premier League. I think their defence of Duffy and Dunk is very good with Montoya right back. I think their defence is solid, but I don't think they've got enough going forward to get the goals that they need to survive. Also going down as the last relegated team, I've got Burnley. Now Burnley obviously had a very good season a couple of years ago getting into Europe, but since then they've plummeted. I think Europa League got to them. They just about avoided relegation last year. I think they're going to go down this year. Looking at their team, there's not actually too much wrong with them. Sean Dyche is a brilliant manager in my opinion. He gets the job done. Whether or not you like his style of play is up to you, but you have to admit it does get them points and it does get them across the line. However, I think that style of play this season isn't going to work at all. I think this season is going to be all about attacks and goals. I think there's going to be crazy scorelines. I think it's going to be down to who can score the most goals, who has the best attack to decide places in the league. Therefore, I think Burnley's style of football isn't really going to work, and their attack at the moment, Ashley Barnes, isn't going to really do much for them in my opinion. I don't think he's that bad, but I don't think he's that good either. I know they brought in Jay Rodriguez in the transfer window. As for the rest of their signings, Peters from Stoke and Drinkwater on loan from Chelsea. Decent signings. They've had a few okay transfers. They've done well to hold on to Tarkowski, because I know Leicester wanted him after Maguire left, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Now in 17th, just about avoiding relegation, another newly promoted side, Aston Villa. Now they've had a very busy transfer window, as did Fulham last year when they came up, and a lot of people are saying that it could send them down because of too many additions. However, I think that they'll be able to do just about enough to stay up. Although looking at some of the signings that they've made, like I've been mentioning quite a bit, they haven't really got that Premier League experience. We've got Jota, El Ghazi, House, Target, Mings, Ezri Konsa, Trezeguet, Louise on loan from Man City, which is going to be interesting, and Tom Heaton from Burnley, which I think is a decent signing for them. But apart from Tom Heaton, how many of them have actually played in the Premier League and are actually used to it? But I do think it'll be just about enough for Aston Villa to stay up. I think they've got enough going forward. They've got enough sort of depth within the squad to change things up as well if things are going wrong. So therefore I think they'll just about survive relegation in 17th. Now another newly promoted side who has had a very busy window is Norwich, who I've put in 16th. I think that Sam Byram and Dermich are their two main transfers outfield, which they've done very well in securing. I think it'll be enough to keep them up in the league. Farman as well in goal, brilliant signing. No one ever saw that coming. I've also heard big things about their manager. I think it's Daniel Farke, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not too sure. But I've heard big things about him. I've heard to watch out for him. He could be a bit of like a Nuno Espirito Santo sort of, where he comes up from the Championship and does very well with the team newly promoted. Now in 15th we've got Southampton, and this one is a bit controversial in my opinion because I could have easily put Southampton to go down. They've never really had that consistent attack, you know what I mean? Like even when they do, Liverpool come in and they take them, and I think they knew that and they went out and they just improved their attack. They got Shea Adams, they got Danny Ings. Whether they've overpaid for those players, that's not up to me to say. That's down to the Southampton transfer people, whoever. But they've identified their weak point. They've gone out early in the window as well, and they fixed it. So for that reason, I think they'll just do very well, comfortable in 15th. Now another team which I could have put much lower is Crystal Palace. I've put them in 14th. They lost Aaron Wan-Bissaka, which is a massive loss because I think he's absolutely quality. But it was always going to happen with the season that he's just had. They've done very well to keep Wilfried Zaha. Whether or not he wants to be at the club isn't really a big deal in my opinion, because I think he's wanted to leave for a while now and he hasn't really got the move, but he's still stayed professional, he's still played well, and I think he's more likely to get that move if he does play well, so it's more of an incentive for him to play well for his current club. I think he'll be the difference between them having a good and a bad season. If he turns up, I think they'll be able to survive comfortably in mid-table. If not, they could find themselves a little bit further down. I think they could have gone out and they could have bought a striker or something, especially knowing that they were getting some money in from Wan-Bissaka, and especially knowing that Wilfried Zaha wanted out. On deadline day, they were linked with Augustin from, I think it's Leipzig. I think that would have been a quality signing. That's probably what they needed. Even if Zaha was staying, I think they still probably could have got that across the line. However, I do think they'll be alright. I think Zaha will turn up and have a good season, and I think they'll come 14th. In 13th, another team that always has a busy transfer window is Watford. Now they've brought in two quality signings in my opinion, one being Sarr and one being Danny Welbeck. Troy Deeney is getting a little bit old, I know they love him, but I think they need a bit more depth up front. And the main thing from the transfer window is they haven't lost anyone that major in my opinion. It's not like Richarlison where he's left the other season. They've kept hold of Deulofeu, they've kept hold of Doucouré, and I think they've done very well to hold on to their best players. But it seems as the first half of the season they've always done very well, like come 7th, 8th-ish, and then once they know that they've sort of survived relegation, they've sort of secured mid-table, they don't really kick on and try and push higher. They sort of just settle for mid-table and then they drop off a little bit later on in the season. Another very solid team, Bournemouth, and their manager Eddie Howe, I have a lot of time for him, I have a lot of respect for him, I think he's a quality manager. I think, similarly to Watford, they've kept hold of their best players. They've kept hold of Callum Wilson, they've kept hold of Josh King, and they've kept hold of Eddie Howe, which I think is going to be massive for them because he's done wonders for them. He's taken a smaller club from the Championship and he's made them into a stable Premier League team. And I think he's going to do that again this season. I think they'll come mid-table. Now in 11th place, I've been a bit harsh with this one, but I've put Wolves. Now like I've said for the past few teams, they have kept hold of their main players and they have brought in some quality signings. I think Wolves' team was already quality before, but they've brought in Cutrone, they've brought in Vallejo from Real Madrid on loan, they've got Dendoncker and Jimenez on permanent deals who were here last season as well on loan. I think they're going to do it, I think they're going to get to the group stage, I think they'll even get out of the group stage as well. So I think they're going to go on a bit of a run in Europe, and for that reason we've seen it a lot in the past. Teams get a little bit of a nosebleed from the Europa League. It happens to the best teams. Even Arsenal last season, you saw them drop off towards the end of the season when they got to the Europa League final. I think it's very hard to deal with Europe and the league at the same time. I don't think they'll drop off like Burnley did and come like 16th or something rubbish like that. I think they'll still have a good season, coming 11th. In 10th, I've gone for another bold one, and that's West Ham. Last season I actually predicted them to come 7th, which was absolutely ridiculous. But they've got rid of Arnautovic, who was causing them long-term problems. They've got a lot of players off of the wage books like Obiang, Nasri, Adrian, Andy Carroll as well off the wage books. They've got Lanzini back as well from injury, who's going to be basically a new signing for them. He's absolute quality in my opinion, and he's going to help them a lot. If Wilshere can stay fit, him, Lanzini and their new signing Fornals is going to make a brilliant midfield for them in my opinion. But especially with Chicharito as well, I think they're looking very strong. Even if Haller doesn't have the greatest of seasons, I think they've still got enough depth and quality to have a decent season. We've got Newcastle in ninth. Again, another bold one, but they've had an absolutely brilliant transfer window in my opinion. They brought in Joelinton, who I don't know whether will be good or not, but is a very big statement of intent, especially after all the Mike Ashley clavers with like transfers and funds and stuff. I think that was a statement of intent at the beginning of the window. 2 more quality signings. Jetro Willems is going to definitely shore up the defence, and Alan Saint-Maxime, I have no idea how they've managed to secure him, but he's a quality young player. He's going to add a bit of pace going forward, and he's going to give him a different style of play that they haven't had before. Now, the big talking point that I haven't said yet is that they have lost Rafa Benitez. For me, that is massive for them, and that could have, I think with him, they could have pushed on even further. I think they could have even challenged the top 6. But I think their transfer window has saved them a little bit, and is going to still give them a decent season in 9th. Now moving up into 8th, another team who's had a quality transfer window is Everton, as they usually do. Now Everton, a lot of people are saying that they could challenge for top 6. Moise Kean, in my opinion, I'm putting it out there, is the best signing of the transfer window. I think he's absolutely incredible. How he's gone to a team like Everton, I don't know. I'd have him at Tottenham any day of the week. I think Arsenal would have him, Chelsea would definitely have him, United would definitely have him at the moment. But in my opinion, he's absolutely quality, similar to Saint-Maxime. I don't think there's even a question about him failing in the league. I think he's just going to hit the ground running, going to be absolutely brilliant for them. Alex Iwobi and Sidibe as well on deadline day. Now losing Idrissa Gueye probably isn't the best thing for them, but they brought in Andre Gomez, and I think with the window they've had, they're just going to forget about Idrissa Gueye. Now the reason why I haven't put them in the top 6, every year there's the if buts and maybes about Everton, but they never seem to do it. I just don't think they've got the oomph in them to sort of go out there and do it. I think they get rolled over easily by the top 6 teams. They're not like another team which I'm going to mention later on, where they sort of take big points off of the top 6 teams and the teams around them. I think Everton just roll over too easy when the top 6 teams come in to play them. You saw Everton versus Tottenham last season get absolutely pumped at the Goodison Park. And it's like, if you want to break into the top 6, you can't be getting turned over by teams which you're trying to challenge against, if you know what I mean. Like, they're the 6 pointers that you have to win, and they're the points that you have to take off of your rivals. Now don't get me wrong, I think Everton have an absolutely quality team. They've had a quality window, and I think they'll do well. And I don't think 8th place is bad for them. Now moving on into 7th place, this is probably the biggest decision so far. The team that I think is going to drop out of the top 6 is Chelsea. Now there's not much to talk about with their transfers because of their transfer ban, but they did get Kovacic in, who they had on loan. I think he did alright for them. I don't think he set the world alight, but I think he'll be decent. They did get Pulisic as well. They've lost their best player for countless years, best player in the league even for countless years. And I don't think Pulisic is going to be good enough to replace him. Because of the transfer ban, they haven't really been able to replace Hazard. I think Frank Lampard as their manager, I hope they give him time. I think that's why I think they're going to come 7th. I think their team's just not really that good enough. And I don't think Frank Lampard will be able to hit the ground running too much. But I think if they give him time, it's going to be a long-term thing. But short-term, I don't think he's got it in him. Now, letting go of Higuain and Morata up front has left them a bit short. They've got Batshuayi, Giroud, Abraham up front, but are they really top 6 strikers for you? In 6th, I've got Man United. Now, very similar to Chelsea, shortness up front, you could say, and they've got the same sort of manager situation. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs a bit of time. I think if they give him that, then he'll do alright for them, but I don't think he's going to be the world-class manager that a club of that stature deserves. Now, the reason why I think they're going to have a better season than Chelsea is because they've had the transfer window to deal with. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Daniel James, all decent signings, but I don't think they've done enough. I think Rashford, I'm putting out here right now, Rashford's going to have an amazing season. But I don't think they've got enough going forward. They've just sold Lukaku to Inter for 73 mil on deadline day. I think Harry Maguire they've completely overpaid for. Van Dijk was less, De Ligt was like 63 mil. It's ridiculous how much they paid for him, but he's a long-term target. They've got him. Now in 5th, you've probably all worked out that the team that I've tipped to break into the top 6 is Leicester. Now they've obviously had that amazing season where they won the league. I think their team's absolutely quality. I think they've got the experience in Jamie Vardy, they've got the young talent of Maddison, they've got a bit of pace in Demarai Gray. I think they've got it all, they've got the perfect balance of players. I think they've made some decent signings in Tielemans, making that permanent. I think he's a quality player. But they didn't have an amazing transfer window. They've sold Maguire. They might have been able to replace him, but I think their team's absolutely quality. I think Brendan Rodgers is a quality Premier League manager. He's got experience. He's got a wonderful balance in his team. I think he's going to be able to do wonders with them. Now in 4th place, another controversial one, we've got Liverpool. Now, they've obviously had an amazing season last season, but I think they're going to have a crap season. I think they've got the quality of Manchester City to match their expectations that they've set from last season. Their defence is the best in the world at the moment. They've got the best set of fullbacks. Their midfield absolutely stinks in my opinion. Bold statement, but Mo Salah is overrated. I do not rate him. I don't think he's that good. I think their best front 3 player is Sadio Mane. Now their front 3 all missed pre-season, Mo Salah and Mane because of the African Cup of Nations and Firmino because of the Copa America. Furthermore, their front 3 have never had a severe injury apart from Mo Salah around the time of the Champions League. They had an awful transfer window in my opinion. You can say their team was really quality, but so was Man City's, and Man City still had a decent window. They have a bad season and I think they're going to come 4th. Now in 3rd place, a bit of a shocker, especially for me being a Tottenham fan, I've got Arsenal. Now, I mentioned it a little bit earlier on, I think this season is going to be all down to attack. Their defence, a bit suspect. They did try and fix it a little bit on deadline day with Tierney and David Luiz coming in, but they probably could have spent their money, rather than spending 72 million on Pepe when they've already had a decent attack in Lacazette and Aubameyang. They could have probably put those funds into the defence. They've got Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Reece Nelson as well, the young prospect. It'll be interesting to see how much he plays this season. If they can get Ozil playing as well, with that front 3, they're going to look absolutely terrifying. Arsenal being in 3rd, I've put my team Tottenham to be in 2nd. And that also means, obviously, as you can work out, I've put Man City to win the league again. Tottenham are going to have an amazing season. I'm not saying that just because I'm a fan, but I think it's been pending for ages for us to just set the league alight, set the cups alight. We got to the Champions League final, obviously we've applied some pressure to the league before in the past, but we've never really done anything that significant. I think Pochettino's finally got the window that he's wanted to spend money, bringing in Lo Celso, bringing in Ndombele, Jack Clark going back on loan doesn't really count at the moment, Sessegnon. I think we're going to push Man City right down to the wire and we're going to put tons and tons of pressure on them. I just don't think we're going to be able to break them down. Done well to keep hold of Pochettino. We've kept Eriksen and Alderweireld at the time that I'm filming this. If we keep Alderweireld, which I think is essential, we'll be looking so solid. Eriksen as well with Lo Celso and Ndombele. Lamela I think is going to have a brilliant season. Ali I think will turn up again. Son, Lucas, our midfield is just looking incredible. People like Ali, who didn't turn up last season, Eriksen didn't have a great season. Lamela's coming back, he's looked amazing in pre-season. I think if everyone turns up, we're going to be a real force in the league. We've also not got back up to Kane. We've sold Janssen, Llorente's gone, and we're relying on Son and Lucas, and the youngster Troy Parrott. So yeah, maybe if we've got Dybala who can sort of play striker, can play cam, he can play left attacking mid, I think I probably would have put us top if that was the case. Now there's not really much to say, to be honest. You can say Pep Guardiola only works with big funds. You have to just put your hands up and say their team is absolutely quality. They've got Rodrigo in centre mid, maybe Fernandinho won't play as much, he's getting a bit older. But to have players of that calibre on the bench, not even starting, you've got 2 amazing fullbacks in the same position fighting each other, Kyle Walker and João Cancelo, and like just being football smart, you have to say Man City will win the league again. Chelsea and United will struggle in the top 6. I think Leicester's going to have an amazing year, Everton's going to have an amazing year, but not quite getting to the top 6. I think Sheffield United is just going to be the rollover team, we're just going to go straight back down. I think Brighton and Burnley will join them going down to the Championship. I think the 2 newly promoted teams, Norwich and Aston Villa, will survive. I think Wolves are going to get a nosebleed from the Europa League and come mid-table. And I think West Ham are going to have a very good season, as well as Newcastle breaking into the top half of the table. So yeah, that concludes my predictions. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of my prediction. But if you want to see more videos like this, leave a like on the video so I know that you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.